Sheril, heartbroken by her ex-boyfriend Caden's obsession with the elite dancer Tanya Turner, was humiliated at a dance studio by Rachel, Caden's new partner. I promised to help. I called Tanya Turner, who agreed to come to New York. At a dance party hosted by Rachel, Sheril and I arrived, and tensions flared. Rachel, expecting to be the center of attention, was shocked when Tanya Turner bypassed her and greeted Sheril and me warmly, revealing our close friendship. Tanya even offered Sheril private lessons, humiliating Rachel and leaving Caden regretting his choice to be with Rachel. After they left the party, Tanya and Sheril walked ahead of me, laughing. Suddenly, Justin Hunt appeared, grabbing my wrist. He confronted me, asking why I was so interested in his son. Why did Justin Hunt confront me now? What will I reveal about my intentions towards his son? Should I tell him the truth about my past and the real reason I am here? Will Justin believe me? We reached the underground parking garage. It was dimly lit and eerily quiet. Tanya and Sheril walked ahead, arm in arm, laughing. I trailed a few steps behind, letting them have their moment. Then a strong hand clamped around my wrist out of nowhere. My instincts kicked in, and I swung, my fist, only for it to stop, caught mid-swing by a firm, familiar grip. "It's me," Justin Hunt said. My eyes adjusted to the shadow. He leaned in slightly. "I just have one question, Miss Smith." "And what's that?" I asked. "Why are you so interested in my son?" Was it time I told him the truth? Puzzled, I slowly replied, "I just find him very adorable and sweet. He's such a sensitive boy, and I feel like I have a connection with him. Do you want to become his mother?" He replied, almost nonchalantly. A smile tugged at my lips. I was his mother. Of course Justin didn't know that. But still, what did he mean by become his mother? I paused. Something about this seemed off. He continued, "Miss Smith, you have a very unique way of confessing your love." I scoffed in exasperation. I found Justin to be narcissistic on a good day, but this was ridiculous. The corners of my lips spasmed, and I immediately replied, "You're mistaken. I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for a friend of mine." And then I just rushed out of his sight, expecting no answer. Meanwhile, at the school, it was 2:30 in the afternoon. Children who'd finished their afternoon snack were allowed to play while the others finished eating. Cherry had always been a very picky eater. After she was done eating the bits of her snack she wanted, she carried her little plate over and handed it to the teacher. Her big round eyes blinked as she said, "Miss Lynn, you've lost so much weight again today. You should eat a little more. When I saved you some of my vegetables." Miss Lynn was indeed on a diet, so Cherry's words hit a nerve. She thought Cherry was such a cute little girl. She couldn't resist her flattery. Miss Lynn rubbed her head gently and said, "Little Cherry is so smart. You're right. I am on a meat-free diet, so I can only eat vegetables, thank you." The other children looked at her enviously. They couldn't believe Cherry was being allowed to skip her veggies. They wanted to do the same. Cherry ran over happily to the play area to wait. She was about to pick up a Barbie when someone snatched it away. Sinead stood in front of her with her hands on her hips and said loudly, "Didn't your mother say that she was going to get a more professional dancer to evaluate you? It's already been a week, but she still hasn't gotten anyone over. You're a liar." All the other children looked over. They all understood that lying was very, very bad. Sinead continued, "You're a bad girl. We're not going to play with you." Cherry was being bullied. My heart ached. Cherry, my Cherry, standing her ground against Sinead and her little pack of wolves. Sinead, that little terror, the dance teacher's daughter, was clearly trying to break Cherry. "Yes, Cherry, you're a bad girl. We're not going to play with you," they chanted, the familiar awful rhythm of playground bullying. "Liar, liar, pants on fire, your nose is going to grow longer." I'd seen it before, the way Sinead manipulated the other kids, how she thrived on making someone cry. But Cherry, she just lifted her chin. "I didn't want to play with a selfish, rude, and uncultured kid like you in the first place," she declared, her voice clear and steady. My breath hitched. I was so proud of her. But then Sinead's face crumpled, and the wailing started. The sheer audacity of it. She was the one being mean, and she was the one crying. Miss Lynn rushed over, her expression a mix of concern and confusion. "No, I'm not. You're the rude one. You're the selfish one," Sinead sobbed, her words barely intelligible. "Why are you crying when you're the one being mean to me?" Cherry asked. her brow furrowed, genuinely puzzled. I had to bite my lip to keep from laughing. The sheer absurdity of the situation was almost comical. But it wasn't funny. Sinead's power games were damaging. The school bell rang, the sound a welcome interruption. Then, Sinead delivered her parting shot. "You're a liar, and so is your mom. My mom said that if your mom still can't get anyone by tomorrow, you can forget about joining the dance performance." And with that, she was gone, swallowed up by the crowd of arriving parents. Miss Lynn turned to Cherry, her eyes filled with concern. "Will your mommy be able to find you a dance teacher?" The dance performance. It meant so much to Cherry, to both of us. But finding a dance teacher at such short notice, I didn't know how I was going to manage it. I forced a smile, trying to hide the worry gnawing at me. "We'll figure something out," I said, my voice a little shaky. But inside I was panicking. Sinead's mother was making sure that her daughter would have her way. And now, my daughter was paying the price. Sinead's mean words made me really worried. I had to find a dance teacher for Cherry, but I didn't know how. I looked at Cherry, and she was so brave. How could I find a qualified dance teacher in less than a day? Would anyone even agree to take on a new student so close to the performance? And even if I did find someone, could we afford it? More importantly, what would I tell Cherry if she couldn't dance? Would she understand? Or would this experience leave her with a scar, a lingering sense of injustice? And what lengths would Sinead's mother go to keep Cherry out of the show?